Here we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am here with one of our students, Brittany. She's a total rock star, and she was just telling me about her painting job in her room. So go ahead, carry on.
All right. What should I carry? Like, what should I?
Oh, well, tell me about that paint job you were telling me about.
Right. Yeah.
I love the decor. This is awesome. Like, this is the coolest office.
Yeah, we have. I'm not really a fan of using like direct like stripes or anything like that. So we ended up painting this very uneven. I know that's kind of like chaotic looking, and I also know that people usually don't like to use black because it makes a room feel smaller, but I like it.
I particularly like it with these sparkly curtains in the background.
Yeah, those I've had since I was 5, and we just haven't replaced them.
Oh, wow. You look like a total rock star, especially since with your headphones, there's like this glow.
Yeah,
You're amazing. Well, anyway, not only is Brittany a rock star just visually, but she has created some of the most amazing models and animations so far in this class that I've seen. So I have asked her, and I'm just going to click my green share button really quick, and that will allow me to share our classroom. So hopefully you can see that. So I'm just in the 3D modeling class in the content and scrolling down to week 8, which is where we're at today. Today is the 17th that we're making this video. You probably won't see it till the 18th. But if you've been peeking in there, you'll notice there's a Christmas Hanukkah extra credit challenge. And the deadline for submitting Blender work is Friday. Get your work submitted by Friday, December 21st, but there will still be students asking if there's extra credit, and so this is it. Brittany and I are going to create the tutorial for this extra credit project. She's been thinking of ideas today and working it out, so we're gonna do a tutorial. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna animate your favorite winter holiday. It can be religious or non-religious, and it's due when you get back from break on January 1st. You're going to create scenery, create at least one character or object that will be animated, exemplify your mastery of the skills that have been taught in the weekly lessons and tutorials, animate, and if possible, create a YouTube video, embed your YouTube or AVI video into the Christmas Hanukkah discussion, and there are directions for how to embed it here. You can just check those out, and there's that link to the discussion. When you click on that, you will start a new thread and post your video. Okay, so I will stop sharing, the little red button at the top you'll see, and we're going to have Brittany open up her Blender, and she's gonna start sharing with us, and we're just gonna do this. Perfect.
So right now the chicken is like this, but I'm planning on just starting from here.
Yes.
And excellent. Then extending the animation, essentially.
Perfect.
And to do that, we'll just go to add. Oh, sorry. We'll go to add. Sorry, my hands are a little shaky. I'm going to start probably not with a cone. We're probably going to start with a torus, wherever it may have started. Oh. Didn't want that to be there. We're going to go Shift S and cursor to center. Then we're going to add the torus here.
Perfect.
So yeah, so we're just going to we're first going to bring the torus up, then we're going to move the torus here. I'm going to hold S, and I'm going to scale it a little bit, just because I don't want, we want to have a hat that fits their little chicken here.
Love it.
But I'm basically just going to kind of finagle this into where I want it to be. And how about...
Now, have you thought about working in a different layer? Or do you just like to do it all in the same layer?
No, usually I work with the same layer just because...
it doesn't cause problems for you later on when you try to select something and it's like selecting everything?
Not usually. Yet. I mean, sometimes when I make the box, that'll happen, but normally if that ends up happening, then I'll just come into the item here and hide it. If I...
Oh, smart. Yes, students, you probably, this picture is probably in the way. But yeah, over on the right-hand side of the outliner, there's an eye. And if you, yeah, show them how to hide something.
So, all right. So there were a lot of parts to this. I apologize. But essentially, so I have the plane selected. And if you have trouble finding, say, like if I wanted to find a feather or a wing or something like that, it'll actually, so you can see the planes right there, but it's not highlighted. So if you're trying to find the item, then it might be a little bit hard. But if you select it, then it'll be selected up here. And then you just go over to the eye, hit that, and then it is hidden, and then you cannot select it. So that makes it a little bit easier if you're working with a very complicated.
So how about if you click on point?
On point?
On the outliner.
Oh, hold on a second. Move that back in there. Like this?
Where it says point, right below plane, click on point. And now that's selected. So scroll around and try to figure out which one is that, because that should be selected now.
This is apparently a light. I don't know why it's
light. So you can actually double click on that right now in the outliner and name it light.
Hey, I didn't know you could actually rename it.
Yes. So you don't have to have everything named. So you don't know what it is. You can go ahead and figure out what everything is and name it. There's another light number 2.
In that case, I'll name these because I was confused as to what point was before. I mean, it also another thing that's kind of helpful is that will, if it's a mesh, then it's going to be a triangle. If it's a light, then it'll be a light. So it will actually label that in there, but at the same time, it can get a little clustered.
That's helpful. Now, your torus, you could name your torus, like, I don't know, rim of the hat, or
I'll name that fluff.
Or if you wanted to name them all under hat so they were close together, you could be like hat fluff.
Well, there is something that you can do. Like if I find, I apologize, nothing's named, so I don't exactly know what is what. But for instance, if this is this, for instance, is a body piece, then I can actually say, take this. Oh my word, this is all over the place. But I'm not going to do this now just because I know that everything is very disorganized, but you can take this piece and then like click and drag the cylinder piece and drag it to this piece, and it will essentially create a folder.
So they're all together. Yes, that's so true.
Also, another thing.
Go ahead.
Another thing that's happening here as well, the animation that's showing up, that's because that is an animated piece. So that's something to take into account as well, in case anybody's confused about what this arrow is. But yeah, so.
And fluff doesn't have an arrow. It hasn't been animated yet.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Awesome. So that just gives a little more information about the outliner up there. And you can drag the top of the properties down so that you can see more of the outliner. Yeah. She's got a lot going on in there.
Yeah. Also, nothing is named. I apologize.
And nothing's named.
Well, I didn't know you could even do that to begin with.
Yeah. So, we don't have to do that right now, but that's just a heads up to students who might be interested in naming their parts in their outliner.
Hey.
And then you can easily select parts from the outliner just by clicking on them.
Yeah, not right-clicking. I keep right-clicking, but...
I know, you get so used to right-clicking, right?
So, like...
So if she wanted to select the torus now, she could scroll down and select the torus, which she has named Fluff.
Right. So one of the first things that I want to do, just because I forget to do this a lot and it kind of bites me in the butt sometimes, is changing the material of it. So like you can see that all of my pieces here are colored, but we're going to go to material here, which is the red circle, not the blue one, it's the red one. Material, and I'm also going to just leave that white.
Perfect. Will you name your material?
You can name the material.
Double click.
Oh my gosh, you can name the material.
You can name it fluff. Or you can name it white. It's true. You could name it just white if you wanted to.
There we go. Yeah, usually when I make material, it's actually kind of a painstaking process because I just go over here and then I have to get the like the hex code and then continue to like replace each and every piece of material with said hex code, which it's a little bit tedious, as you can imagine.
So just out of curiosity, there's a little drop-down box next to the word white. Could you do that drop-down box for me on the left? Where you down a little bit, down a little bit more, down a little bit more. There you go. Click on that. Do you see that? There's all the materials you've created them. If you name them, you can use them over and over and over again.
What?
And then you might have to click apply if it's not showing up. Just if there's a little apply button above that area that shows up, just click apply.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know how to apply material because, can I go off on a bit of a tangent?
Yeah.
So something that I know that not a lot of people know how to do is to add color to just a set piece, like a set face.
Right.
The way that you do that.
How do you select a face?
Oh, right. So you just go into tab and then you go down here to
tab. But why did she go tab? Because that puts her in.
That's the edit mode.
Edit mode.
Mm-hmm. So essentially, the way that if you want to select a single face, right? You just go down here, obviously, to face select, right? But if you want to change the color of, hold on a second. I am so sorry. Hold on.
Technical difficulties.
Sorry. Yeah.
Just checking her Facebook.
Well, I got a Discord message and I was like, wait, that won't show up in the thing. So will it?
Oh, it just turns it gray for a second. We can't actually see it.
All right, I'm so sorry. All right. But the way that you put a specific color onto something, see how that just changed the entire body into that color?
Yeah.
That's not what we want. Essentially what we want to do is you were going to go over here into this little menu.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to add, it's not that. You're going to click this.
Yeah.
And then this will make a new thing. And then you can essentially put this to, say we wanted a green, and then you hit assign, and then voila. That patch of that bird is now green.
Yes, yes. What I like to tell students is that when they first add that first material they add is going to cover the entire object. So pick that first material of the most dominant color that you're going to use. And then when you add your next material, you can assign that to individual parts.
Yep.
Okay.
So anyways, that was a big tangent.
But these are the types of tangents that we want to talk about because these are the things that make the Blender world go round.
All right. So
next.
Yeah. For this little hat, I kind of want it to be at a little bit of an angle. So we're going to go into the rotator, which is down here. One thing that I do remember being in one of the very early tutorials that you made, Mr. O, is using R, which will rotate it on the camera. I personally don't use that all that often just because it locks it to the camera and, that can make a very...
Hit R again. Yeah, if you hit R again, then it gives you more versatility.
Oh.
So there's two, yeah. The first R is kind of locked, and then the second R is more mobile. And then the other way, I love to rotate things. If you could open the property panel by clicking the plus sign on the right.
On the right? This?
Yep. Yeah. Click on that. I love to rotate things by adding in, or you can just click in, for example, the X, just click in, not on scale, and rotate, click on that and drag from left to right. That will
I feel like I clicked that. Oops.
Yeah. You can
yeah,
click
you're
on
right.
that.
Forget
She's
that's
just
the thing.
clicking and holding and dragging that value. And so she can get it right on the x-axis there. She could type in a value if she wanted to, and if she wanted to tilt it a little bit around the y-axis too, so his head's a little tilted, she can do that. So that property panel is pretty useful when you're rotating, especially if you want something specific. If you're like, I want it to rotate exactly 90 degrees, you can just type in 90 degrees and it'll be perfect.
Awesome. They're all kind of.
And then you can slide that back when you're done with it. Yeah, you can just slide it and get totally rid of it. So you just hit that plus when you want it back.
All right. But I was just saying, like, just because I use this one like second nature instead of using the other things, just so you know. So
I can never get that rotate tool. I'll be trying to, and it's just like the little, it doesn't work for me. Just can't get it. I don't know why.
All right.
It looks good.
So here we have the like the fluff on his little Christmas hat. He's going to be a very festive chicken once we're done with this. Next thing that I want, we're going to want a cone.
Smooth. Do you know how to smooth?
Oh yeah. Well,
Curious.
like do you mean
I noticed
smooth
that your turkey's not smoothed at all.
So I feel like that's like I kind of like using just the flat shading from aesthetic because sometimes it like the smooth shading makes it look a little bit weird, but yeah.
It's totally fine. I was just curious if you knew how to do that. So like students, you don't have to do that. But you can.
Yeah.
If you like it. And the fluff might look a little better if it's smooth too.
I agree. I think the fluff will look better if it's smooth.
And then I'm also wondering with the fluff about adding some type of a texture, but later.
We can try it. I'm kind of fuzzy on the texture piece, so I might have to
Me
have a little
too.
bit of help.
Yeah, I don't use the textures very often. So, I mean, we could just explore.
All right, so this cone is huge.
Check it out. Check it out. Here's the deal. Will you right-click on your fluff for a second and open the property panel?
On the property panel, this one?
Yep. Your X value is 21.6. So if you right-click on that cone and type in 21.6.
Ah, that's a good idea.
Ta-da!
There we go. And then we can just slide this little soon-to-be hat over to the fluff, and then we will soon have a lovely hat for our chicken.
Perfect.
To be festive.
See, now that might have taken you about 10 minutes to finally get it to the right angle if you and tried rotating it another way.
A bit,
it looks fabulous.
You know what?
Yes.
Just because this looks a little bit like a dunce hat, the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna make his hat red, because red Christmas hat.
You want to make it all the way red? Click on that again. To make a perfect red, yeah, you just see the R, increase that all the way to the right,
there we go.
and then B, go to the left all the way to 0.
On the
and that will give you perfect red.
Ah, there we go. Now he has a very shiny red hat, and it makes him a very happy chicken. All right, so what I kind of want to do with this hat, I'm going to use something which is one of my favorite tools, in all honesty, which is called Loop Cut and Slide.
Will you slow down and tell us about that? What did you just do? Like, how did you get to where you're at right now?
All right, so
did you hit tab for edit?
First off, you go tab to edit mode.
Show them where edit mode's at on their screen so they know what's changing.
So right down here.
So when you hit tab, that will toggle between object mode and edit mode.
Yeah, so you can see it down there. Tab, boom, edit mode.
So in edit mode, you notice that we can see the geometry of the hat, and we can select specific vertices or faces or edges.
Yep. But this magical tool, which is called Loop Cut and Slide,
so you're
right down here and under Add. It's Tools, and then it's Add, and it is right here. This is Loop Cut and Slide.
Now, just a little in FYI, if you're in object mode, you're not going to find the add menu on your tool shelf. It won't be there. So if you're racking your brain trying to figure out where it's at, remember, you have to be in edit mode.
Mm-hmm. So what I need to do is I need to select all of them. So I'm going to hit C and go to the paint selector and select all of these.
Perfect.
We're going to get loop, cut, and slide. You want to work with me?
Yeah.
No. Right. Okay, hold on a second.
Try object mode. Select it in object mode first,
whoa.
maybe.
Why is that happening?
Well, it might be because there's a point.
Possibly.
It's a triangle, and loop select does not like triangles. But yeah, if it were a cylinder, it would probably work. I see what you're trying to do.
In that case, I have a perfect idea.
Start with a cylinder.
Start with a cylinder. Yeah, I honestly don't use cones all that often for that reason. We're going to make it about that big. We're going to go in here. And if we remember, it's 21.6 is
yeah, that's how I remembered it too. Yep.
Magic number. And we're going to kind of bring that over here. We need to scale that down a lot and bring that in here. It's okay, chicken. We're going to get your ear hats.
Yes, that's why it's always good to do Shift S and move your cursor to the center whenever you add a mesh so that it's centered with the rest of your objects.
Yeah, I forget that sometimes.
Good.
So right now we actually have quite a nice top hat. He's a dapper chicken.
It is lovely.
Right, so just preemptively, yeah, so this is what loop, cut, and slide is supposed to do.
Yes, can you put your cursor over that loop, cut, and slide and show us what the shortcut is?
The shortcut for it is apparently Control R.
Control R. So all you have to do is hit Control R and hover your cursor, and when when you hit Control R, you move your mouse. If you scroll your mouse, it will let you add more than one. So go ahead and scroll your mouse right now.
It might be because I made a smaller area. Hold on a second. There we go. And we're going to do this. And, there you go.
Scrolling. She's scrolling, and it's allowing her to make more loops. Now, remember, the more loops you make, the more geometry you have, which can slow down and crash your computer. So you want to be economical and frugal with the number of vertices, edges, faces that you have on your design so that your computer's not working too hard.
Yes. So I'm going to have 3.
I have a suggestion.
I could probably get away with 2.
I have a suggestion. I was going to say, because of the fact that you have your loops in there now, it's going to be harder for you to shape the entire cap. I was wondering if before you added your loops, if you wanted to select the face of the top and size it down so that it already made kind of a cone for you.
Well, here's a little magic trick called Control Z, and now they're gone.
I mean, it was just a thought to hit S and scale that. And get your virtual cone first. You can go all the, as long as there's a cone, it will do your edge select.
So here's also another trick when you're using scale, like just pressing S and scaling something. You can actually input, for example, 0, and that puts the point down to 0 and the scale down to 0. Or, for instance, you could put, I think 0 is actually the only one.
If you do 0, you're back where you were with a vertice, and you're not going to be able to do edge select or loop select.
Really?
So you can do.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, well, what do you know? Okay, well, I was wrong.
So we have this cone. My vision for this little cone, for this chicken's hat, is going to be essentially having it curl to the side. So we're going to try and make that happen for this awesome little chicken. He really wants his Santa hat.
Let's do it.
Yes. So, so loop cut, sorry. Loop Cut and Slide is a really magical tool because you can essentially make a ring of edges anywhere on that object. This also works on cubes. This works on anything. And I think this is well, except for cones, obviously.
I
But
don't know. Maybe there was a glitch because it seems like essentially what we've created is a cone. So I'm a little confused why it's working all of a sudden. But
I don't know. Maybe it just doesn't like cones. So it was like, this is a cylinder. We'll work with that. So this magical little tool will allow you to make a ring of edges that can then be selected. And I believe it's easier to use in Subdivide, because Subdivide literally just makes more geometry instead of just making a specific edge that you want.
So all she's doing is rotating it. So cool.
So
you can grab that top vertex and stretch it out.
That's true, but we'll worry about that in a minute. So
I'm not the one creating this. I'm just
so we're gonna try and grab. See, that's the problem with this. So, yeah, the problem with making a cylinder into a cone is that it still has all the points there. Like, all of the vertexes still exist. They're just at a 0 point.
Yeah.
So
you have to select them all.
Yeah, we do have a bit of a workaround to this by using C-Select, and that's not working.
Hit that little button down at the bottom. I love to use this one.
Button down.
You know, the one where it says you can select everything that you see. Go down. It's next to Face Select, right to the right of Face Select. That one right there. Yeah, click on that. Okay, now change your view. Now just
it's like
yeah, change your view so you. Oh, well, that works too. I was gonna say you could just do a little box select around the top and it'll select the whole thing.
It's like almost like a wireframe, but not.
It is. So in that mode, it'll select everything behind it and as well as everything you can see. So if you don't want to select everything behind it, then you need to click on that button again.
That's very helpful.
Yeah.
All right, so
loving it.
I have an idea for this. This is gonna look weird, but we're essentially gonna put this point down here. Well, maybe not that far because
we'll see how this goes.
So, sure, why not? We'll put that there for now. And it looked kind of like a weird witch hat right now, but we're gonna fix that. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Loop cut. We're gonna make another loop cut. And then we're going to drag this up. And we're going to rotate that. Don't worry, this will look fine in the end, I promise. Take that.
Nice.
So right now we have kind of like a bit of a,
Curve. Yeah.
A bit. Yeah, a bit. We're going to make just one more, and we're going to kind of solidify this and hopefully make it look not so weird. So also another thing that's going to happen is that this is going to start looking a little bit interesting, but we're just going to kind of scale that down slightly and then move that up, and boom, now we got like a little curvy thing, but it'll look better when we make it smooth.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
There is something
I feel like you've got to get another little loop closer to the very, very tip so that you can get the tip to hang down where your little pom-pom ball is going to be.
Right.
Sorry, getting ahead of you.
There is something that I kind of do want to fix about this.
Okay.
We're going to select all of it, and by doing that, we're going to make this not tiny. Mouse, work with me. There we go. We're going to make this as big as possible. And since we have this awesome thing that Miss Girot has just taught me and welcomed me to the world of, we're going to select all of this, and then, including you, and then we're going to do, I'm not sure how this is going to look. Hopefully it'll look okay. Actually, we don't need the bottom edge. We don't need that. No. Don't select. There we go. We're going to take this, excluding you. Take you. There we go. We're going to take this, and we're going to use smooth vertex. I just want to see how this will affect it. It might make it look better, might make it look worse. We don't know. Smooth. So
I've never even tried that button.
Yeah, so this will make it look a little bit more
Notchy.
less jagged.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it doesn't have enough geometry to make it work perfectly.
Yeah.
Usually this is better if you have like for example, if I took like the face of this chicken, then I'll make it so that it doesn't have so many like hard edges and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Right here, and make that 0. Apparently my internet connection is unstable. I don't know what we're doing. We're gonna add another loop cut here, and we will rotate this not that way. We're gonna rotate this along the green circle, make that nice like that, and we're gonna move that up slightly so we get that nice little flop, and then we'll put the poof on the end of it.
Love it.
Here we go. I'm gonna select that, and then select. Nope. There we go.
Yeah, it looks like the other ones are selected, but they're not.
Apparently they are. Huh. Weird.
Oh, apparently they are.
I got an idea.
It's because you're on edge select. Get back on vertex select. Sorry.
Whoops.
I know. I don't know how that happens. Hit A first. Oh, you got it. Okay. She knows what she's doing.
And we will move that down slightly.
You could rotate it instead. See how that works if you hit R.
I'm not sure if that would work though, because this is just the vertexes.
Try.
We can try, sure.
Oh, you're stuck on that thing, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm always just hitting R.
Yeah, I like working with just the it's not as precise as using this, but it has a little bit more control than just using the camera. But
yeah.
Here we go. We have a nice little
It looks fantastic. Love it. I want to see the colors. Can you go into rendered mode? So did you? I thought you changed that to red. That's so weird.
Well, that was with the cone, remember? And then we changed it to the other one.
Oh, we changed it to a cylinder. That's right. Okay, perfect.
So here's this. We'll go back into this mode, and we'll just render the.
She went into her camera, is what she did. She hit 0, I believe. Is that what you did?
Yes, 0.
Okay, she hit 0 so she can look at it through her camera view.
And then we'll go on to the image. So here we have our little chicken.
It looks so good. What's that black thing around there?
Black thing. Oh, I think that's just like the shade of it. Because he's not a smooth chicken. He's a rough chicken.
Oh, I was thinking more along the fluff area.
Oh, that's just the
Can you go into render view instead of that? Like go back into 3D view down below. Yeah, just hit 0, come out of your camera, and get rid of that rotating thing. Get back on translate down below.
all right. Sorry.
And click on the place that takes you to wireframe and take it up to render. To the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. Keep going. Left, 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 left. To the right, to the right, to the right, to the right. It's right next to object mode. Keep going to the right, right there. Click that and go to rendered. Okay.
Oh, whoa.
So now, yes, so when you're fooling around with like your colors and your textures, if you're in rendered mode, you can see how that's going to look. Now, something bizarre is happening with the fluff. And I wonder if that's because the cone underneath is protruding into the fluff.
I don't actually, you know what, I believe that. I think that's just because it's on.
Go into object mode real quick.
Here, like, hold on a second. If we put that.
Or solid mode, sorry.
If we take this and put it on flat. Yeah, I think it's just because I have 2 or 3
It's
lights.
where the light's hitting it? Okay.
I don't think I have any over here, so we can actually maybe stick one over there and see how that works.
No worries. I was just curious about that. You're right. I think it's just the light hitting it and creating a shadow.
But we can do something like this. We'll put that over there, and we'll add not a mesh. Hold on.
She's adding a lamp. She put her cursor there because that's where it's going to add the lamp to.
Yeah, and then once we put that lamp there, we'll go.
Got to go back into, well, I guess you don't. You can rotate it if you just hit the R.
Because it's a point lamp, so it shouldn't.
But it
When
is.
you're in this mode, do you not have the
Yeah, so just hit R. Hit R. Just do it from there. Hit R right now. Hit it again. No.
Well, hold on a second. That's a point lamp. We can try like a spot lamp or something like that.
Over to the right, you can change it to a spot lamp.
Oh,
right
okay.
there.
So we'll put that on a spotlight.
Oh, you could change it to sun.
Because usually I use point lights. I don't really know how to work with the other ones.
Hit the sun one. Sun's fun.
Oh, wait. That apparently works.
Perfect.
Oh, my.
Now hit R.
Hit R?
Yeah, turn us so we can see the side of the chicken that we're lighting up, though.
Oh, right.
Yeah, now hit R. Oh, look, it's gone.
Yeah, I think it might have just been the like the shading doing something funky.
Okay, it's sure.
Oh,
all right, well, anyway, back to what we were doing.
There we go.
Oh, fun. Disco. So down there on the bottom right, yeah, while you're in rendered mode, you can change the type of lamp. You can hit point, sun, spot, hemi, area, and just see the way that it impacts your lighting. Now, if you want to go back in and edit your lights, then you have to go back into solid mode. So right now you're in rendered mode. Go back into solid. Once you're in solid, then you can see your lamps again. And you can see the direction that the rays are pointing. So that one doesn't look like it has a ray right now, but it's got to. It's a sun lamp.
I mean, it seemed to work all right the way it was.
Oh, I think it looks great.
If we go back to rendered.
It looks fantastic in sun mode, for sure. Love it.
All right, so I'm going to get back out of this because that is kind of annoying. There we go. We're going to put that cursor back to center there. And next we're going to add a floof, but I feel like I kind of want to see using the ecosphere instead of the UV sphere.
Do it.
The ecosphere is kind of more jagged looking and therefore it looks more like a fluff in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you smooth it, it'll probably smooth out a little better, huh?
Ah, definitely. So we're going to put this, move that. It's a bit big still, but we'll fix that when we put it back into position. Put that here. Oh, no, you don't want to move for me? There we go. Move that over there, and ta-da! Now we have a little Christmas hat for our chicken.
I love it.
But we have to animate this hat, do we not?
That is so perfect. Okay, is it white? Look at her. She's. You don't have to do that. You don't have to. You've got your little drop-down box over there. Drop down to the left. Right there.
Sorry, my hand is shaky.
White.
White. There we go.
Ta-da!
Now we have a little Santa hat for our chicken.
Isn't that fabulous?
Here is something that I kind of do want to do just color on it. What was it? It was this, and then what was it? Control P? Parent to object. There we go. So what I just did was I made a parent object in this. And essentially what that means is if one thing rotates, then the rest of it does.
Okay, Control Z, step by step. Let's try that so everybody can see what that looks like.
So, let me see here. That was the last thing. Okay, so what we're gonna do.
Could you get rid of that annoying rotation thing?
Oh, sorry. I forget. I'm just. So here we have the puff. Then we're gonna hold Shift. We're gonna select the hat. Then we're gonna select the bottom ring here, and then we're gonna hold Control and P, and then you're gonna select Object.
P for parent. Now, what she selected the ball at the end. So the ball is the parent now, right?
No. So the last thing that you select is the parent. So for instance, if
Ah,
it's fall here, then it's going to be on its own. But do you see my
ah,
dotted line there?
I see. So, okay. So the fluff is the parent.
Yeah. Well, okay, hold on. So this piece here, the torus at the bottom, is
Hmm.
now the parent. So anything that moves that's connected to the torus is going to move with it.
Got
So
it.
that'll make it easier to animate.
I love this. I am so glad that you are teaching us this. This is exactly where we need to be. This is
Using
fantastic.
using the parenting kind of stuff is, I know, a little bit more advanced of a Blender thing. So
It is, but it is just perfect for all of our students. This is right where everybody's at. Everybody's wondering how you do that. I would have just joined them, you know what I mean? But I like this idea of parent. This is
right.
cool.
So so if we, I'm gonna probably add this. Hold on a second. How long do you think we should extend this animation for? Right now it's at 60.
Let's just take it to 100.
Okay. Put that end length at 100 there. And then you can see that the timeline did extend properly.
Yep.
So I'm actually going to select this just in case, and I'm going to hold Control C and make that my clipboard object, just because I have had it when I move the timeline, objects that aren't animated yet
Yeah.
have deleted themselves. So
Well, why don't you go ahead and do Shift D and duplicate it. Now set it down. Now hit M, and we're going to move it and move it to a different layer. So now you've got that hat, and it's down there at the bottom. You can see your layers. So go ahead and click down there at that layer.
Oh, I see that. Yeah.
Go ahead and click on layer 2. Good. So she's got the hat there. She could do that with her chicken too if she wanted to. And if she wants to see both of the layers at the same time, she just holds down Shift and selects both of those layers, and now she can see them both at the same time. And that's what I meant by at the beginning. I was like, so do you ever think about using layers?
I've never used that before. That's amazing.
It's just like with other digital programs, you want to start getting to that point where you're thinking about using layers. Hiding things on your outliner certainly works. But you know what I've noticed that we have not done yet is we have not saved this new version with the hat. So this would be a perfect time to save.
Sorry. So we're going to, I'm actually going to save this as a different piece.
Perfect.
Just because this is, Chicken Morph was the original one. So we're going to put Chicken Morph with hat.
Exactly. So every time you save it with a slightly different name. Some people will do V1 for version 1, V2, version 2. That allows you to always go back to your previous versions, because sometimes you're working in Blender and bloop, everything's gone all of a sudden and you can't get it back, or some weird object is suddenly attached to your chicken and you cannot figure out how to get it off. Like, I've just had the weirdest things happen, and when that happens, I have to start all over from scratch unless I have a previous version saved.
So yeah, it's a very good thing to always remember to save, because you never know what could happen. Your chicken could all of a sudden fall apart.
Yeah, exactly. And change the names as you save them. So let's go ahead and just click on layer 1. So we're just seeing our one layer now.
All right, hold on a second. Let me put that back to 60. So
okay.
Right now, as the animation goes, the chicken starts as disassembled and then assembles, and by frame 60 it is good. So what we're gonna have is the hat. Once the chicken is done, the hat will essentially drop down afterwards. So what we're gonna do for this is we're gonna select the hat, select all 3 pieces of the hat. This is important, and we're going to do. Oh heck! What was the keybind to add a keyframe? I can't remember.
Well, right now, well, if you want that hat, you want the hat to be up high, right?
Yes.
So just go ahead and put it up high.
so we're gonna do this from the camera mode just because I need to see
Yeah.
how this will look.
If I were you, I'd probably even select the camera by right-clicking on the rectangle that's around your chicken.
Yeah.
Go back to 0. No, stop. Okay, hit 0. Okay, you can also just right-click on it from there. And now hit G and just move your cursor around a little bit and get that so that,
Whoa.
okay, yeah. Yep, and so bring it, yeah, a little bit. And now go ahead and just left-click to drop it. Okay, now I want you to hit G followed by Z followed by Z. And now move your cursor. And that lets you zoom in and out so you can get more in your camera view.
Oh, so you can do like panning and what?
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
You can hit GY and that will let you pan along the y-axis.
Whoa.
Or GZ to pan up and down. So, and then do you know about hitting Control Alt and 0 to make it so that your camera just moves wherever your view is?
Yeah, I do use
Okay.
that quite a lot.
Okay, perfect. Good. So once you're in camera view, you do have some control, but you have to select the camera first. If your rectangle is not yellow, you can sit and hit G all day long and nothing's going to happen.
Like that? And then
Yeah, so then you click on it, and now when you hit G, it'll move
you
around.
can select it from that. The only way that I've ever selected it is by hitting like the little triangle above it.
Yeah.
All right, so here's going to be the view. I believe it did actually move from its original position, like the original camera position that it had for the animation, so it might end up, well.
So you can, at the very bottom, hit type in 61 where it says 60 down at the bottom on your timeline. Type 61. Perfect. Now you can move your hat down a little bit more. And that's going to automatically, if you want to move the hat down, what frame do you want it to be down at?
So if the end of the animation is going to
So leave it up there, and yeah, now click the keyframe where you want it to actually be down.
So if the end of the animation is 100, I'm saying we should put this at either 90 or 95.
Try 90, that'll be perfect. Now move it down where it's going to end up.
So the way keyframing works is essentially the way, for example, if I were to move this here, that would be maybe a keyframe. Basically, the way Blender tries to work itself and work keyframes is it's essentially a point where the object has to be like that, and then it'll fill in the blanks afterwards. Like, I can actually use this as an example. This entire animation was done with 2 keyframes. One at 0, where all the pieces are on the ground, and one at 60, where it is all together.
Yes.
And literally, Blender just handled all of this on its own.
So that's what a keyframe is. A keyframe is you're setting the location, position, rotation of that object at that keyframe. Then you move to your next keyframe and move your object wherever you want it to be at that point, and then Blender fills in the rest for you. Mm-hmm. Now, make sure on the bottom right of your timeline where you have that little red record button.
Yeah.
What does that say when you hover? It says automatic keyframe insertion. Now, the reason why it's setting keyframes automatically is because she has that button selected. If she didn't, she would have to hit I to manually insert a keyframe, but she's got it automatically set up. And then the little button next to it, what does that one say? Type of keyframes to create.
That's like, because if you hit I, like for example, if you hit I, this is the keyframe menu, and it can look a little overwhelming at first, but it's actually pretty easy once you get, once you understand it. So essentially what we have here is location, which is when you make a keyframe, it'll be at that location, but it won't change its rotation or scaling. But if you do lock, row, and scale, it will do all 3. So for example, if you have an object that moves from one end of a space to the other while also changing its rotation and or scaling during that animation, it will save all of that and attempt to fill in the rest by the end of the other. So maybe that's not the best way to explain it.
No, it sounded good. It sounded good. I think the best way to really get the animating part is to just do it, to
Yeah,
just play around with it.
it's really weird to get into, but once you understand it, it's fairly simple.
Yep. Okay, so let's see how it looks right now. Let's press play and see what we've got.
Oh, well, I don't have the keyframe in. Hold on. I'm
Oh,
going
okay.
to move the hat down. Well,
Perfect. That just automatically set our keyframe. Now press play. Let's see what it does.
wait, did it?
Yeah, press play.
Oh, okay. So then we'll do this.
Okay, so our hat, our first, we didn't set, a 61 didn't have the keyframe set.
Right, yeah. Okay, hold on. So
Okay, so the hat's got to be up.
we'll put that just out of frame.
That should be set. Okay, try pressing. Oh, wait. Okay, go ahead.
And then we'll go. Sorry, I didn't.
It should automatically be set.
Yeah.
You should be good to go. Like if you go to 90, yeah, there you go. And then you just set it down there. Perfect. That should be set. You should be able to press play now. And
maybe it's not on, because usually I don't work with the automatic stuff because I've had it set them where I didn't want them before. So normally I just put them on manually. But we will just take this little dude and move him down, press I, and go on to location, and it should be good by then. So
okay.
see and scroll down, you can see it just moves down.
Awesome. Yeah, that's one thing is you can grab that little timeline player line. I don't know what it's called. And you can drag that and actually, you know, see what your animation's doing.
All right, so
perfect.
Now this should look like this. It comes together and hat. You can see that that's a bunch of different, well, you can see the two keyframes working together here because here the hat is still stationary, but once you hit this keyframe, 61, it will begin to move down until keyframe 90, in which it has reached its destination and won't change it.
Now, what would be really nice is if then the chicken's head looked our way.
Okay. In that case, we will have to we'll extend the timeline a little bit more. What do you say? For a
geez, I'd probably at that point go to a 120.
Okay, sounds good. So we'll just type in 120, it extends again. Remember, its original length was only at 60. We have now doubled the timeline. We will go back and press 0 to get back out. We still have our little chicken dude, but something that I haven't done is I haven't set the parent of the chicken head, which we will do now because it will make animating a whole heck of a lot easier. Also another thing that will come up if you're new to using parenting functions, I cannot set the torus, I cannot set the torus's parent as the chicken head. And the reason why is because you can't have parents of parents. If there's one object that's a parent of another object, that's it. You cannot have one object be the parent of an object that has its own children, essentially. So if we want this hat to follow the head, we will have to disband the parent that it already has. Unfortunately, I don't know how to do that.
You don't have to do that. You can just rotate the head and look at the rotation numbers on your panel to the right, and then you'll rotate the hat the same.
That is true.
So you can set both of those keyframes, one for the hat and one for the head.
I'm going to move this real quick. I'm just going to put that over there.
So she's going to select the
first. I'm going to make it a little bit easier on myself and hold Control P after you select everything. Make sure that the last object you select is the one that you want, because the last object that you select is the parent. So in this case, now this chicken head is going to be the parent, as you can see.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's perfect. So, you can just go, yeah, that's awesome.
So we want this chicken's head to move by, let's say frame 110 will be its movement spot. So we're going to put that there. We want to essentially make the finished project, we want to essentially have the finished product by the last keyframe. So we're going to take this, we're going to basically just rotate it. I'm going to rotate it and I'm going to move the head just because it'll look weird.
She rotated it 33 degrees along the Z-axis. See, now if you type your numbers in manually, you'll be able to type those exact same numbers in for the hat.
So hold on a second. Is he looking at us? More or less, but we're gonna make him do a little look-see at the camera. There we go. That looks a little good. Yeah.
Now, here's another thing. You can also keyframe your camera. So you can actually set the face keyframe, the hat keyframe, and then zoom your camera in and set your camera keyframe. So when you press play, it'll actually turn the head in the hat and zoom the camera in on it at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can do a lot of fancy stuff with the camera and the keyframes and whatnot. It's all about just working it out and figuring stuff out for yourself because it can be a little bit overwhelming, but everybody gets it eventually. And I'm sure with enough time, you will too, and you'll be an awesome animator. So here we have the hat rotated just slightly. I did end up moving the head just because it would have looked weird if I didn't. So
Perfect.
So okay, here we have this.
How do you set the keyframes for both of those?
Right. So we're gonna grab the head, and because we're gonna grab both parents, and then we're gonna set the keyframe for them. And I think that'll make it so that the feathers and the rest of it move too.
You might want to do loc, rot.
Oh, that's a
scale, the whole thing.
Right. Yeah, I forgot. Okay, so because you can see, here, this is actually a good example because you can actually see what happens if you don't do that. Because yeah. I moved the head, rotated things as well, and you can see that they just slide, which is not what we want. Yes. So we're going to go back here, Control Z, and then we're going to press I, and then we're going to go to location and rotation.
Do scale too, so that it doesn't change the scale.
Right.
Just do them all. If you're going to insert a keyframe, just do location, rotation, and scale all at the same time.
Yeah, you might as well. So now we can see that that looks very janky. No, I don't like it. No. But the chicken head is fine. The hat kind of isn't, but it's good for now. It's
okay. Right? Grab your camera, and I want you to I want you to hit Z. Yeah, right. Go back to your zero.
We actually do have to do the first keyframe for the camera, though, since it doesn't have a keyframe prior. We'll start it.
Yeah, do it.
Mm-hmm. We'll start it when, like, he first gets his little hat, and he gets, like, the ding, and then,
I'm wondering, do you have to set the very, very first keyframe, though? At frame 1, do you need to, at frame 0, do you need to set a keyframe for the camera at 0 first?
Not necessarily, unless you want it to be, like, a very long pan. Like, for instance, if you wanted, like, a very slow zoom, then you'd set it at frame 1 and then continue throughout the animation.
I guess I was thinking keyframe at 0, keyframe at 80, and then keyframe at 120. I just wasn't sure how setting a keyframe for the camera at 80 was going to impact it.
Let me see
if you don't have one at 0. Maybe it won't. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So here's a little bit of a funky situation that I got here. I forgot to set the first frame for the head rotate, so it's literally rotating as soon as it comes together like so. So what I'm going to actually have to do is I'm going to have to set another keyframe sooner than that so we get the nice look instead of...
The hat comes down first. Gotcha.
Yes. He needs to don the Christmas hat before he looks.
Love it.
So we're gonna select this hat, or nope, not the hat. We're gonna select the face, and we're going to. Actually, I'm gonna. So this is the rotate, right? We're gonna have the. How do I do this?
Right. Get rid of the other keyframe. Just delete it.
Yeah, that's a good point. We'll just there we go. So he dons the hat. He's still looking. Stubborn.
The keyframe is still there.
There we go.
Okay.
Never mind, it's still there.
Ah!
Die, keyframe. Stay dead. There we go. So he dons the Christmas hat at, let's see where he dons it. He dons the Christmas hat fully at 90. So at 91, we're going to set another keyframe. We're going to do low quart scale.
So she's just hitting I to insert a keyframe.
Yes. And then we're going to go over to 110. And this is where we're going to want his little rotate and move. So we're going to rotate.
Perfect. That's
kind of breaking his neck. Hold on.
That would be kind of funny, though, if it was like... That would be the owl.
Oh yeah, he's an owl in disguise. That is no chicken. So we're gonna just move that there. Let's see. That's a good look. But you can see I was also able to move the hat and the head just by selecting two objects. I was selecting both parents. So parenting.
Is that how you did that? Was that?
Huh?
Did you just click shift?
Yeah. So I'm only selecting two objects, but I'm selecting parent 1, which is the torus, and parent 2, which is the chicken's head. Okay. So it's moving everything together, but I'm not selecting everything. Smart. So here we go. This is how it's supposed to look. He gets so basically he comes together, and then he gets his hat, and then he looks.
Perfect. Now let's set a keyframe for the camera.
Right. So currently the camera does not have a single keyframe on it, so we're gonna have to be careful where we put this initial keyframe.
Why don't you go to 0 first?
Okay.
And right click on the camera, the rectangle, and set a keyframe. Low quart scale.
We'll do, yeah.
And then you can do the same thing, what was it, all the way up to 90? When did you want it to start zooming in?
So,
yeah, 90.
Yeah, so this is where he looks over, so we could do...
You could do like 85. Could have it start to zoom in a little bit earlier if you want, or, okay.
All right, so here, we'll put this at 80 when he first dons the hat. We'll put a keyframe there, and then we will do a slower zoom up to, because when, let's see, 110 is when he's done with his animation, and there's just extra seconds there, so we have a little bit of time to work with. So by 110, how about we'll have it zoom in.
So go back to your 0, because remember how I was showing you can hit the G, Z,
right.
and Z?
I was just going to do the Control-Alt-0 and like bring it up to here.
It might look funny, but go ahead, give it a try.
Oops. Well, in that case, we can just...
yeah. Do it however you like it, because I was just thinking if you were looking through the camera view.
What was the other one? There's
What'd we do?
Like to zoom it in and out.
Oh, you have, as long as the camera's selected, you hit G, Z, Z.
There we go. So we'll just kind of...
If you had your camera already at the angle it was going to be at and you hit G, G, Z and had it zoom in from there, it would look natural.
Yeah, you're right.
At this point, you're kind of changing the angles and everything, so sometimes it'll make it go and like,
yeah, you're right.
Look a little crazy.
be too fast. Give the freaking
Yeah, it'll like not adapt right.
So here we have this. So we're gonna do the BCC, and we'll bring that in. We'll also kind of
just G.
We'll bring that up a little bit. There we go.
That's perfect. I bet that's gonna be easy.
We'll put that there, and we'll see how that looks.
Wait a second. Where are you at? You're at 100. That's where you wanted it?
Oh, nope. No, that is not where I wanted to.
I think you can hit Control Z.
All right, there we go. Oops. Apparently it just reset the view. How dare you, camera? You defy me.
Wow!
So, yeah, so we'll bring that about there, and then we'll just move it up a little bit. And then we'll put the keyframe in there. And it should be much more natural zoom.
Yes! Voila! Voila! It's beautiful.
So we will add back in the...
I am concerned though right now your camera doesn't show all of those pieces. Should your original...
Yeah, this is how the original one was. It didn't show...
Do you want to go GZZ and pull that out a little bit more or no?
Not exactly, and the reason for that was just because the plane down here, you can see that this is like the floor.
Yeah.
It didn't extend all the way to the edges of the cube, and I thought it looked kind of weird, so I just left it like this.
Okay.
But we can do render animation, I believe, and actually watch the thing proper. It will be a little bit flickery at first, but I think it'll look fine after. So you can see this is what it looks like when it renders.
The other thing to remember is that you can go into render view and you can use your timeline slider and you can watch it rendered and go back and forth all day long without having to actually spend the time rendering it.
Ah, you're right.
Look at that. Woo! This is how you do it, people. This is how you do it. Okay, now one other thing that might be really fun to do for your animation is then add some text like Merry Christmas, chickens. So let's just quickly add some text. Do you know how to add text?
I have not. I've never worked with the text before.
Okay. Oh, you can't be in here, Eva. Sorry. I'll get marked down for you. Okay, so text is very easy. It's going to be under add.
Under add. Oh, right. The add menu.
Yes, you'll add text, and you might want to make sure your cursor is where you want to add it. So you might go to front view, like hit 1, or yeah, cursor to center, go front view. So so it's nice and perpendicular. You could even go, this might be a good time to be in ortho view. Are you in front view right now?
I think this is front view, actually.
Yeah, you hit 1, that's front view. And hit 5 to go into orthospective view. And whoa, where are we?
Yeah, it's because it's the this is the block that's like the room. It just kind of flung itself out.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, well, go to 1 front view just so that we're seeing things perpendicular. I guess maybe you do want it from your camera view. Maybe you should hit 0 and be in camera view when you do it, so we can see what it's going to look like. Okay, so go ahead and insert some text.
We could put this like directly on the chicken and then just move it when we need it.
Okay, I like that.
Text. Ooh.
Oh, look, so you're already going to have to rotate that text because it's flat, and you can do that. Oh, look at her. Oh, hello. Now,
that, like right there.
I can't remember. What do you have to do to actually type the text? You have to go into edit mode, maybe?
Oh, there it is. Looks like. Yeah, there we go.
How did you get it? Did you go into edit?
Yeah, I just pressed edit and then it came up.
Okay. So yeah, if you're in object mode, you can't type. So you have to be in edit mode.
That immediately went off screen.
And how can you, you just would scale it, hit S to scale it. Oh yes, there we go.
Oh, so that's interesting. So it's like a plane that's like an editable.
It is an editable plane, and you can make it 3-dimensional.
What is that, extrude?
It's, E. Yep. E extrude. Do it.
Maybe you have to be in edit. Nope. Hold on.
Is E not working?
E doesn't appear to be working.
Okay, I've got to look it up. I have to look it up every single time because I'm like, why isn't this working? All right.
I have an idea. Why don't we have like the Merry Christmas come like across, like wee?
There you go. Text in Blender. Just doing this the other day, trying to figure out why is it not working. Add text. Switch to edit mode.
So 110 is the last frame of the animation, so maybe we'll start at 100 and have it kind of fly in. So in order to do that, we'll just put day.
Here's a little, a 2-minute, sorry.
That's all right. I am
Text in Blender, here we go. There's a little tutorial here. I'm going to share for a second. Will you, at the very top of your screen, click stop sharing?
Sure.
Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to share this awesome, informative video.
Whoa.
Oh, is it sharing? Can you see it?
Sharing for me, yeah.
Weird. Okay. Nothing's in the way?
Nope.
Hello and welcome to another Blender tutorial. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to make a similar text to what you see here. I'm not going to be getting into materials, scenes, lighting, anything like that, just the text itself. I'm going to start by going into my 3D view and deleting the text I've created. I'm going to add a new text by pressing Shift A and selecting text. And then I'm going to press R, X, and type in 90 to rotate it 90 degrees forward. Now to change the text from saying text, select the text and press Tab. And then you can enter your own input. I'm going to put movie title. If we're going to change the look of the text, to do that, go into your text options by pressing on the F here. You can change things like resolution. If I zoom in here, you can see there's kind of jagged edges. If you're doing high resolution images, you're going to need to increase that so you don't get those horrible jagged edges, because they will show up, especially at higher resolutions like 4K. Next, we're going to change the geometry. I'm going to extrude this text to give it a 3D look. I'm going to go with 0.4. That should be enough for this example. And I'm going to make the edges, rather than just two faces meeting, I'm going to give them some bevel. 0.005 should be enough. And I'm going to make that bevel smooth rather than a flat surface. So I'm going to give it 12 for resolution. If you'd like to, you can change the font. For example, the font I was using before was Brittanys. And you can change things like size, share the text, bold, italic. I'm not going to use any of those for now. And the last thing is paragraph. I'm going to center it, and I'm also going to take the object and move it down so it's in the center of the camera. And that's really all there is to it. If I render this out, we can see we have pretty much the same effect that I showed before. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video, and more importantly, I hope you learned something. If you did,
awesome. Okay, go ahead. Take it away.
All right. Share. Blender. There we go. All right. So if we're going to make this into a 3D text, it's under F and where was it? Geometry. There it is. Don't want it to be too thick, so we'll give it like a 0.2. Oh, that's good. And how about we'll give it like a little bit of a bevel, because I did like the sound of that. We'll give it like a 0.1 bevel. Oh. Looks like it just got melted. That's great. All right. Try 0.03.
Yay.
That's all right. Yeah, that's not too bad, actually.
It's good. What about color?
Oh, can we change the color of that? Heck yeah. All right, so.
You could do your red. You've already got it saved.
Yes, we'll do that. Go here, and apparently we have multiple red. There we go. So now we have this nice little Merry Christmas thing. And
so what I was
actually,
thinking is like I was thinking if you scaled it super tiny and put it way in the back, and then by the time it's the end, it scales and gets bigger. What do you think about that? So you don't even notice it at first?
you could do that.
Well, you do what you want. This is your video. This is your animation.
All right, so I was either thinking we could do that, or we could have it rotate when it comes up to the, like when it comes up, so like it goes like, "Wachow."
Wachow!
I use a lot of sounds when I'm explaining things.
Yes. Let's go for wachow.
All right, so first we'll have it like down. I'm actually gonna hide this underneath the plane. So
Perfect.
like for instance, when we're out, we'll just move that back in when we need it. So I'll just hide it there.
You're so smart.
Okay, so let's see what we got so far and when we should start having the Merry Christmas.
So should you set the first keyframe for that Merry Christmas down at the 0? Underneath or wherever
that's a good idea. So we'll put that first frame so it's still underneath the ground. We'll put that on the root scale, and then we will.
She still had that selected.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. By the time this is here, we'll start bringing this back up. It won't be visible yet, but we'll just have it ready. Okay, so
go ahead, insert it. Low root scale.
All right, so hold on. So we got this like look here, and I think we should have it like come up like, hiya, when he's like looking over. Yeah. So we'll put that in at like 95 when this starts coming up, and we're gonna rotate this. Actually, this is a good opportunity to use the R because then it rotates by the camera.
Yay! And just don't forget, if you just hit R again, it'll rotate any way you want it.
Ah, right. So this will be like the first bit that we see of it, and then we'll do scale. So essentially this is going to be, ooh, that's not nice. That's not nice at all. You're going to, so, okay, I have an idea. Easy fix.
Just keep it down there until the camera zooms in.
Yeah, so then we're just going to dump that down there, and it won't, okay, so, the best way to get rid of this and not have a keyframe. That keyframe at 0 is...
To delete that keyframe, what are you doing?
I'm just holding Control Z until it goes
she's
away.
just undoing the last move. Okay, got it.
All right, so basically we want to start it like about there. This is where we're going to start bringing up the Merry Christmas. We're going to rotate that down so it's going to kind of like flip up. Right, so you're just barely seeing it here, rot scale, and by here is where we want it to be up and
full view.
Yep, we're gonna hold up and there. I kind of want it to be more like flippy, so we're gonna be like hiya and then there.
Perfect. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Yeah.
So this is going to be a very fast movement just because there's not a lot of keyframes for it.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Like, yeah.
Okay, go into render view.
Why is that still there?
Change your, I don't know. That darn keyframe doesn't want to go away, huh?
No. Maybe we'll just have another keyframe here where it's not there.
Okay.
There we go. That's a fix.
Right. Now change to render view. Just that little button next to object mode.
This one, right? That one?
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay. Go for
it. I'm actually gonna like hide all this so we can get like a good view of this amazing chicken.
I love it.
There we go. And then we're just going to hit play. We're going to see how this goes.
So it's not going to be able to keep up while you're doing that. So you might have to just grab it and slowly move it.
Probably. So essentially, we'll see the chicken.
Won't be any different, will it?
Nope.
You can skip a few frames, though.
All right, so we know what happens. Essentially, the chicken comes together here at 61. This is where the hat starts to move, and the hat should make its cameo. There it is. The hat comes down. Then we start getting this lovely camera movement.
Woohoo! Oh, look at that.
And it comes up. And there we go.
Oh, that was sweet. And then the last little bit, I would even probably extend that last bit to 130 so that people can actually just stare at it for a minute. Yeah. It's beautiful.
There's another thing that, oh wait, that needs to be the end frame, right? There we go. Because one thing that I myself make the mistake of is not giving enough time for the loop. Like, the original animation, mind you, for this was at 60, and it just ended at 60. So as soon as it came together, then it looped. So that's kind of something that you need to watch out for. But we can actually just play this
space on the end where you can just stop and enjoy it for a moment, right?
There we go. And then
my heart. Okay, let's go ahead and pull out the properties panel on the right so that we can show everybody how to render this.
All right. Is that good? Or does need to be more?
That's great, but go ahead and bring it up so that we're not seeing as much of the outliner. And we're seeing more. Yeah, pull it back out to this side.
This one?
No, get rid of that one.
Oh.
Sorry. Yeah, draw that out a little bit more. Okay, perfect. Now, in the middle there, your outliner is the stuff that shows the outline at the top. Like, don't go there. Go down to that middle part and draw the line up. Draw the bottom part up.
Oh, wait, like this?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant like the...
I wish I were better explaining what I'm trying to say. There you go. Nice. Okay, so guys, the camera is render. Okay. Now you're gonna have to slide that down a little bit because in our video that our pictures are gonna be covering up a little bit. So bring it down a little bit more. There you go. So you hit that camera and scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you're going to change that ping file where it says PNG.
This one?
Yes. The first thing is to change that to AVI JPEG. Perfect. Boom. Then you are going to change the quality. If you have done a lot of geometry and it's just like gonna take forever to render, you can change your quality. She doesn't need to. Hers isn't taking that long to render. And then you're going to, where it says temp, click on that file up above just a notch because you need to tell it where to save. So click on that, or the little file to the right. And now you need to find your Blender folder. So where do you save your Blender things? Blender things. Now give it a name.
All right. We will call this just hat chicken. I don't know. There we go. Hat chicken.
Perfect. Yeah. Hat chicken. And then on the right, it will say to accept. Is that right?
Camera's kind of covering it. There it is.
Accept. Yes. Yeah, they're not going to be able to see that, but it does say accept. So once you've clicked accept, now you're going to be able to find it, because if you don't do that little ditty, you're going to be looking forever for the temporary file. Trust me, I've done it before. It took me a long time to find it.
Oh, wait, yeah, that's right. That's not going to be showing.
Yeah. And so then once you have that done, the next thing you want to look at is your resolution. Right now, she has her resolution set to 50%, which is great. If you have it set to 100%, it might take a long time to render that file, okay? So that's the reason why I decreased it to 50%.
But at the same time, resolution also deals with how gritty your animation is. Like if you've ever rendered an image or if you've ever rendered a video, you've noticed that it will have like that grain. It's not necessarily like it's kind of like white noise if you look at it, but it's across the entire thing.
True. Oh, go ahead.
If you increase your resolution, it can help with that. It's also how sharp all of your edges look and whatnot with resolution. So
absolutely,
it will increase the amount of time it takes to save it and to load it and whatnot. But at the same time, it'll make it look a lot better in the end.
She doesn't have a highly complicated animation. Also, the other thing is up at the top in the middle where it says Blender Render, like up in the middle of the screen, not even on the properties panel. Click on that. Click on Cycles Render. And go ahead into Render View down below by Object Mode where we were below. This is Cycles Render. Cycles Render is more realistic and it will take a lot longer to render. You notice how long it took us, and the lighting obviously would need to be changed, but just so you know, Blender Render is kind of like the old rendering system. Cycles Render makes things look a little more realistic. So
this is also where you can also see the like the
noise
I was talking about. So.
Yeah, the noise. So go ahead and change that back to your Blender Render. I just wanted everybody to know that there is a different rendering. Okay, perfect. So once you have your resolution set, you've told it where to save the file, you've changed it to AVI, JPEG, then you just click Animation. And at the top of the page, which you probably can't see, well, yeah, you can. You can see on the left at the top it's saying frame 27. If you wanted to cancel your render, you would hit the little X right about where your cursor is right now, where it's, do you see that X just to the right?
This one?
Yeah. If you were like, I don't like it, just hit the X right there and you can cancel.
Mm-hmm.
And now you won't be able to go up to render and play it from there because it won't show that pop-up window, unfortunately. Mm. You would have to stop sharing and then start sharing again to get into whatever movie player. So if you want to do that, you can. So if you want to go ahead and.
I'm not sure if I have a good movie player, but I can try it.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. Here we go. Blender things. We need the chicken with hat. Ah, okay. So that actually worked out really well, and I will share that now.
Cool.
We need to share the movies.tv, and I think this is gonna look really weird because there's gonna be a lot of gray on the sides, but all right. So this is the animation in all its glory. Ta-da!
Wow! And it's called Hat Chicken. Yay! Oh, it's awesome. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so go ahead and share a browser so that we can show the students. Do you do YouTube? Are you allowed to upload a video to YouTube?
It's a little bit. I can. I just have never used. Like I use YouTube. I just don't know. Like I've never uploaded something.
Okay, as long as you have an account that you're signed into, let me show you how to do it really quick. It's super easy.
All right, here, let me get into my auxiliary account.
This is where we want our students to be. We want our students to be able to convert their videos to YouTube video, because then, like in the classroom, you can actually, like in your discussions, there is under insert stuff icon, which is the far left one. There's actually a little YouTube. And so then you just put in your YouTube link and it'll embed your YouTube video right into the discussion.
So something kind of that might be a little bit of a problem is that my other account Has my full name on it.
Okay, so can you just email me really quick your AVI file?
Sure.
And I'll do it on my video.
All right. I will just grab that then.
Perfect.
Sorry, I
No.
usually just have like my one account, but I've never uploaded anything on that, and I'd rather use like an auxiliary account essentially. But
You are totally fine. You're totally fine.
Actual name.
Yeah, that's what I tell students too, is you don't have to put your real name on stuff.
Okay, here we go. I'll send it as a reply to the chain that we had.
Perfect.
And I'll include from computer and Blender things and chicken with hat. Yay! There we go. And it'll take a second to load it into the file thing, so give me a moment. Apparently, this animation was only 6 megabytes. The more you know. All right. And there.
I just wanted to put a little happy face. Okay, I'm waiting for this to come through. This might take a while.
Possibly.
Is it in your sent box yet?
Huh?
Is it in your sent box yet? There it is. I just got it. Woohoo!
Hey.
Okay. I just need to save this to my folder. This is so fun. Thank you so much for meeting with me today and doing this. This is amazing. Okay, so this is going to be the Chrismahana Kawanzika challenge folder. And it's the hat chicken, yay. Okay, so I'll go ahead and share with you guys now. If I can figure out how to get back into this. All right, here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So I'm signed into my YouTube account, and there is just this little video icon with a plus to create a video or post. And you just go upload video. And then you just, as you hover your cursor over this, you'll notice it gets red. You just click on that. And you are going to go into your 3D modeling folder and find your video and open it up. And you can name it here. So I'm going to name this Girot 3D modeling. Brittanys Christmas chicken.
Of course, the famous Christmas chicken.
Perfect. Or what is it? Chrismahanika challenge. Okay.
By the way, what does that mean?
Chrismahana Kwanzaa?
Yes.
It's a combination of Christmas, Hanukkah. Maybe that's supposed to be a U. I'm trying to figure out. Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. I can't remember.
That makes much more sense.
Okay. And then what you want to do, students, is change it from public to unlisted so that people can't search you and find you. But what it does is that if you share your link, the people that you share it with can see it. You don't want to do private because that means you're the only one that can see it no matter what. So if you try to share your link with me, I will not be able to watch it. But unlisted keeps you safe and lets you share. You can also add your custom thumbnail. So if you're not crazy about those thumbnails, then what I can do, and I'm just gonna find that file that you just sent me and open that puppy up. And then I'm going to find it once it appears. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to pause it where I want it, and then I'm going to take my snipping tool. Hopefully you guys all know how to use your snipping tool, and I'm just going to take a snip of that.
Snipping tool is an amazing tool.
And I'm going to snip it the size of like a normal video window, and I'll right click on my snip and I'll save that as, and in my 3D modeling folder right with that chicken, I'll save that as my thumbnail. I'll just name it thumbnail for a chicken. Okay, and then once I have that, I have to scroll down. So I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to click on custom thumbnail, and there's that thumbnail that I saved. And I'm going to double click on that. And so now that pulls it up. So that's going to be my thumbnail. It's going to show the Merry Christmas and everything. And then when I click done, you'll notice that it shows that thumbnail. I can just copy that, and I usually paste that like into a OneNote file. But we're just going to go into our classroom really quick, and I'm going to try to embed it into the discussion. So going into 3D modeling and getting into the content, going into week 8. There's the Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa discussion. Click on that. And these are just directions how to do all of that. Start a new thread. Type in Christmas turkey. Here is the link for insert stuff. When you click on insert stuff, you'll notice here you have a YouTube. You click on that. This is where you're going to paste your YouTube link and click search. It's not coming up. I think sometimes you have to wait a while. I don't know why. This happened the other day. But if you like give it an hour to process, you should be able to come back and add it. Bummer that it wouldn't work. If it won't work, you can just go ahead and put the link in there for now and post the link. And then if you can remember to come back in an hour and try it again. Sometimes it just takes a while between processing and for the school interface to be able to recognize it. Okay, so then you would just click post. All right, well, that's enough of that. So thank you.
Yeah, it was fun.